Annyeonghaseyo, students and families. To better serve all of my students by ensuring progress and success on the journey to black belt and beyond, I'm going to be implementing stripe testing. And a lot of you know what this is already since we went through the stripe test. But I want to explain a little bit more in detail about it for existing students and also for new students as well. It's similar to progress checks, and this will be done at the end of every month and integrated into our core curriculum. It's going to be used in conjunction with the Black Belt Excellent Worksheets and the Quality of a Champion for the children, which I'm going to cover in just a moment, and I'll explain in detail what that really means. And the adults will also have stripe testing as well, but first I'm going to explain the purpose of the changes. I remember, back in the early 70s when I started my martial arts training. I remember you can go into any taekwondo school or karate school, martial arts school, and you're going to see a poster or a plaque on the wall that would read something like this. It said, "Your master is 1 in 10,000," and 10,000 people will start training in the martial arts. After 3 months, 5,000 will quit. A year later, only 50 will be left. After 3 years, 2 will make it to black belt. Only 1 will become master. And your master is literally 1 in 10,000. And I guess back then it was my guess that these two people must have been pretty determined and tough-skinned to actually make it. But really, looking back now, this poster, this plaque, this saying, kind of convinced me that if we were going to use martial arts to help people and make a difference in people's lives, that we first had to examine the character of the people who made it to black belt in the first place and find a way to develop those same qualities in our white belts. And if we did that, we should be able to significantly increase the success rate in helping people, as well as increase the number of people who would succeed in their training and eventually become black belts. I found understanding this is one thing, but developing a system to make the changes is quite another. And not only do we need a system for changing attitudes and beliefs, that we also need to do it quickly and for a larger student base. Classes back then were a lot smaller as well. This is really not my first choice as a rule, because most of you know that I'm a hardcore and old school martial artist, and really this is what our culture demands and society demands. And Americans are used to having things done really fast, from fast food to instant information, texting, emails, on-demand TV, and people are looking for immediate results and really instant gratification. More importantly, the kids that were born since the mid-1980s have grown up with computer games, with DVDs, with DS's, music videos, and TV shows that create ever shorter attention spans. Basically, they're overstimulated. And the MTV generation demands quick thinking, fast decision making, and it's really difficult to convince people to be patient when they're not really accustomed to waiting for anything. So, in my opinion, unfortunately, this right now attitude kind of cuts two ways. It's a double-edged sword. Just as an adult, Americans are always looking for a quick solution to every problem, and really what that boils down to is that there's a kind of a constant social and psychological reinforcing of these same expectations of instant gratification causes kids to lose confidence, self-esteem, and eventually their patience. Master Greg Silva, which is one of my mentors, has this to say, and I quote, "Think about these statistics. 80% of children entering first grade have a positive attitude and high self-esteem. Yet 80% of children entering third grade suffer from low self-esteem. Surprising, yes. And I feel the reason isn't because they are 2 years older, but rather due to having daily endured 2 years of negative input and bad influences while interacting with other children, parents, and teachers. Example. I'm sure a second grader who struck out playing baseball wouldn't be supported by his teammates with character-building comments like, 'That was some swing with great effort and concentration, Johnny. Keep up the good work and persevere, and you'll soon be hitting home runs.' I really don't think so. Instead, he or she is being bombarded with comments, 80% of which are negative in nature, especially in public schools where kids can be brutal. This constant negativity creates a belief system that soon begins to control the child's self-image, thinking, and actions. Understanding how this happens is the most important thing for any instructor dedicated to making positive life changes," end quote. And really, teaching martial arts alone will not build the qualities that parents expect to develop quickly. And while we do see an opportunity to make these improvements happen, instructors are also faced with a major challenge. We have to do it fast, because if we don't, not only will the parents become disappointed, but students are going to quit, and of course the opportunity to help them becomes lost. And there's also another challenge. not only do we need to do it fast, we must also understand that our students are going to be constantly faced with their own challenges when they're not in Taekwondo. In fact, out of the 112 waking hours in a week, we being martial arts instructors, only have 90 minutes to do our magic. That's considering if you're coming twice a week for 45 minutes. And there's also a mental shift that needs to happen. And we no longer teach martial arts, we teach people. And martial arts may be our subject, but the goals and the lessons are to empower students with their values and beliefs so that they not only succeed in our school, but make it to black belt and also become a black belt 24/7. And this is the dough in Taekwondo, as I mentioned in the last newsletter. And becoming a black belt means that the student has internalized lessons and is now a walking, talking person of integrity, of pride, respect, and that we associate with a true black belt. And he or she uses everything they're learning in the dojang to walk taller, to feel stronger, a sense of self-worth that's backed by beliefs and values, which will also support smart decision-making and positive choices in every aspect of their lives. And this is how we're going to accomplish it. I'm just going to give you just a quick analogy, and I apologize if it's oversimplified, but a property owner with a duck pond had to coax his ducks back into the towards the pond after they wandered off into the woods. And to keep them on track, he placed large pieces of bread spaced pretty wide apart back to the pond. And some ducks ate, and they were content. They just hung around there. And then the others just kind of wandered off aimlessly, hoping to find another meal and maybe by luck find it back to the pond. The owner thought about this for a while and decided to keep the ducks hungrier and on track by placing smaller pieces of the bread closer together back to the pond. And this ensured the ducks were happy and moving along, as well as the owner who was able to monitor their progress a little bit better. And the students need small increments and victories to help them achieve their goals and keep them back on track. And our school is about balance, and I mentioned this a few times, balancing the physical with the mental qualities. And so the bottom line, so what's this quality of a champion, the stripe testing, and the black belt excellence worksheets are all about? The black belt excellence worksheets are the mental qualities. This deals with respect, with honor, with discipline, etc. The qualities of a champion are the physical qualities, the speed, focus, accuracy, and so on. And basically what it is stripe testing is a way to integrate these qualities with our core Taekwondo curriculum and get the students to become successful and progress on the journey to black belt. And the stripe is really, kind of just a symbol of your hard work, and it's a small increment to help you achieve your goal and keep you on track. If there are any questions about the stripe testing, any questions about the black belt excellent worksheets, qualities of a champion, or any questions at all, please come see me. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the dojang. Anyan Keseo.